Hello everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. I hope you're all doing very well. My name is Alex, and listen, we are going to be speaking about a very special player in a strange situation, which isn't. I don't even understand why we're having this conversation, but I feel like I should at least mention it, and then you can make your own decision. But Lee Carsley, the England manager, has come out and hinted that potentially Cole Palmer could be playing as a left back for England. I mean, it's better than Southgate, isn't it? I mean, at least he wants to play him, but I think it's ridiculous. The England scenario is a unique one. The left-back situation is not great. Obviously, Luke Shaw has had a lot of injury problems. Ben Chilwell, the same thing. He hasn't had game time, so he's not getting called up to the England squad. In the last international, Rico Lewis from Man City played as a left-back, but he is a right-sided player. He's right-footed. So Lee Carsley's basically come out and said we could look to play Cole Palmer or Bukayo Saka as a left-back. Now, if you want my genuine opinion on this, if you're trying to squeeze the players in, you play Saka as a left-back. Why? Because he's actually done it before. He's played as a left-back for Arsenal. He's very good at left-back at times, or left wing-back, whatever you want to call it. You know, when Arteta first came in, Saka was integral from the beginning, really. And, never really let down in that position. Obviously, he'd rather be further up the pitch, but he's a player who's capable of doing that. Cole Palmer, I think it's disrespectful to even put Cole Palmer in that bracket of potentially playing as a left-back. All of the number 10s in the England squad, none of them are as good as Cole Palmer. All of the wingers in the England squad, none of them are as good as Cole Palmer. So, the fact that we're having a conversation about left-backs, left wing-back, whatever you want to call it, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And I know it's just Lee Carsley's spouting suggestions, but I mean, if he's actually thinking about it, I think it's crazy. You put Saka at left back, you put Palmer in his strongest position, either as a 10 or on the right wing, okay, depending on what formation you play. That is what you do. Absolutely criminal. The disrespect. I think it's disrespectful to actually mention Cole Palmer in that bracket. You look at this man's stats since he's come to Chelsea. Last season in the Premier League, 33 games, 22 goals, 11 assists. This season, 6 games, 6 goals, 4 assists. He's getting better and better. Not as a bloody left back. So, I don't even know why this is a conversation, but people keep sending me this article and saying, well, you should talk about it. So I thought, why not? And actually, it is an interesting conversation, but it's also a very short one. And the answer is, you don't play Cole Palmer as a left-back. You don't put him in that position. I'd rather he didn't even play for England, to be quite frank. Because, then he'll be well-rested for Chelsea and he'll play better for us. I think, to be honest with you, if you look at the international fixtures, the international breaks, football is just crazy right now, and I agree with the players' stance on the amount of matches there are, and I can definitely understand why there's talks of players not wanting to play as much football and potentially having a, what do you call it? Oh, I've forgotten the word. Protests, whatever it is, and refusing to play some games. Like, I can understand what it is. You understand what I'm saying. Look at the international breaks now. So the season started in August. We had an international break in October. Sorry, we've got an international break coming in October. November, we got another international break. We had an international... we got another one in March. Why is there so many international breaks during the season? And then people wonder why we have all these problems. For me, if you really want to milk it and get as much out of these games as you can, and we know that FIFA and UEFA, all these competitions, they want to have as much football played as possible so they can sell TV rights, broadcaster money, sponsorships, all of that. That's how they make their revenue. But it's got to be sustainable. It's got to be smart. Right now, it's not smart. It's certainly not sustainable. If you've got these international fixtures, which once were friendlies, now there's Nation League game, which are basically friendlies as well, I think that you should just play it in a condensed block of a couple of weeks and keep it at that. Yeah, have it as a tournament, league format, but tournament, structure in terms of short and sweet. Once it's done, it's done. Why do you have to drag the Nations League on for a whole season? I think it's just crazy. Nobody cares. I don't care about the Nations League. I don't know about you watching. I want to watch Chelsea. And now I've got to worry about another bloody break. When Chelsea are starting to finally pick up some rhythm, when Cole Palmer's balling out. And you want to play him as a left back. Ridiculous. So that needs to change. Absolutely needs to change. I'm also hearing that Man City have rightfully appealed for the Premier League to start later on in the season because of how late they finished the Club World Cup, which we're also playing ourselves. Now, if this appeal gets declined, that means that after the Club World Cup, Chelsea would only have a week to prepare for the Premier League season starting, well, the new season from next. It's just mad. Football's gone mad. And we've all been in this situation. If you're a little bit older, even if you're in your 20s, your 30s, there was a time where you thought, I want to watch more games. And now we have access to those games that we didn't have before. And that's brilliant. I just think there's actually too much football. And I think that it is hindering the progression of players. I think that it's causing a lot of these injuries that's happening. And I think the quality of the game is going down because of it. We sort of reached a peak of quality probably a couple of years ago, I'd say. And I think it's sort of set there, and it will only go downhill because players cannot maintain that standard week in, week out when you're not even given time to rest. And you can't even have a holiday. Everyone's entitled to having time off, no matter how much money you make. Players need time off. They need to rest their bodies. They need to recover. They are assets at the end of the day. Multi-million-pound assets. If you don't treat that asset well, it will deteriorate. And the product, which is the football, will deteriorate as well. And I think, this all stemmed from Cole Palmer playing at left back, but it all comes together as well. Because what if he gets injured in this international break, playing as a left back? Let's just say he does that. It leaves Chelsea absolutely fucked. And it's not our fault. It's not his fault. But if the scheduling was better, then we would be able to watch football in a better way, a more enjoyable fashion, get some momentum behind these competitions, because we're not even 10 games into the Premier League, are we? And we've already had 2 international breaks are coming up. We'd have one and we've got another international break. And I just think to myself, I just want to watch the Premier League. I want to go and watch football. I don't know. Maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe I'm not. Let me know what you think. But one thing I'm sure we can all agree on is that Cole Palmer, he just shouldn't play as a left back for England. It shouldn't happen. And he is the best player in the Premier League right now. He is. And if you're not going to treat him like the player that he is, then don't play him. I'd rather Palmer didn't play, and then he just performed for Chelsea every week. But yeah, a little bit of everything in this video. It was only meant to be about Palmer, but I think the internationals are stupid anyway. And I think that if we just had a block, like let's say after the season finishes, you have 3 weeks where you play the Euros, right, or however long. Why not just do that for the Nations League and then let the players play in the season, have a little bit of extra rest time during the season, maybe even finish the season earlier so they can prepare for the internationals. And that way it's sustainable. The travelling's not too bad. They can spend more time with their family, with their teams. It's just better. It's easier. So a lot of problems that international football is causing. There'll certainly be a problem if Palmer's a left back, because Lee Carsley, you're trying to get this England job. You don't do that. Palmer is an upgrade on Bukayo Saka, whatever day of the week you want to pick, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, etc. You've got one player doing adverts for Nando's. You've got another player actually scoring goals and making things happen. So, let's take Cole Palmer seriously. Let's play him in his best position. And if we are going to play England matches, let's not have an international break every couple. Like, it's not even been a month, and there's another international break coming up. So I just think, yeah. Let me know what you think, guys. But enjoy your weekend anyway, and speak soon.